Welcome to this week's episode of Talent Talk. I'm your host, Gary McLean. Today's guest is an actor, writer, can you even call her producer, director, author, surfer? You name it, she does it. Please welcome me or join me in welcoming Allison Lane.
Thanks, Gary McLean.
Sure. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks. This is awesome, guys. Congrats. I love it.
Thank you. Let's start off a little bit with, like I said, I always ask the same question, kind of. Where you started, how long you've been acting, where you came from?
Where I came from, as I was born in London, Ontario, and pretty much raised in Winnipeg, and been acting and writing since the 4th grade. I actually went to a fine arts high school and then got my degree in theater and film from University of Winnipeg, and yeah, just been doing it my whole life pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Touching on the surfing side of things, where did that start? And
Oh my God. I've always kind of liked boards. I was a skateboarder and taught snowboarding and just loved riding boards. And went on a trip to Hawaii, took a surf lesson, got up, and then once you get up, that's it. You're hooked. Anyone that rides a wave, gets their first wave, that's it. They're done. And then just been surfing ever since. I go on, like 5 surf trips a year.
Okay.
I just love it. It's my life. Surfing and writing. That's just like if I could just sit on a beach, write, go surf a wave, come back, write a little more. Yep.
That'd be the life right there.
That is the life, yeah.
Going back to the acting side, actually, let's go to the writing side.
Okay.
You do more the comedy writing, I believe, right?
I do, yeah. I do.
Has the comedy thing always been kind of your passion type thing, or the genre you lean towards, or?
I think so. I think from an acting standpoint, I like both. I really like drama as well. I think I'm pretty good at it. But comedy is what I enjoy because I just like to laugh.
Right.
And there's no greater feeling than something coming out of your mouth and seeing the joy that it brings people.
Right.
It's a drug. It's like surfing. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I'm a total narcissist, so yeah, if I can make people laugh, well then, oh my God.
You're like patting yourself on the
Yeah,
back.
totally. Oh God, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. God, that was hilarious.
So when you were talking about writing and having to produce what you've written, I know this is kind of a passion for you, is the whole doing your own work type thing.
Yeah.
Doing your own projects and getting self-promotion in a way, right? Has that always been kind of something you've been passionate about, or how did this kind of come about?
I've never been the type of person ever just to sit around and wait for something to come to me. If I want something, I'll just do it myself. Because I just know a lot of actors, mainly actors in the industry, that just go out for audition, and just wait for the work to be given to them. Whereas if you want to do something, just go out and do it.
Right.
You know, we're so lucky to live in a very supportive community that why not? I mean, if you've got an idea for something, just call up your buddies and say, hey, can you find someone that can operate the camera or that sort of thing. Or if you want to do live theater, go out and find a venue. I think when I graduated from university, I had actually written this play, and it wasn't my first play that I had written because all throughout high school, university, I was always writing plays and producing them. So when I graduated university, I'd written another play, and I went to Manitoba Theatre Centre, which is like Alberta Theatre Projects. And I said, okay, so I've written this play, so when do we get going? and the artistic director is like, Ali, it doesn't work that way, like that. But I had this deluded self-confidence that that's just the way it goes because that's the way I had been doing it since the 4th grade. And then he said to me, if this is what you want, then moved to Calgary. Because in Calgary, there is so many community theater spaces that if you just pay, at the time, I think it was about $400, you just pay $400 and you've got yourself a venue, a technician, and then you just do your own posters and promotions and find your actors, and you can produce your own show. And I said, okay. So I moved to Calgary.
Okay. What year was that?
So that, oh God, now you're going to age me. So that was 97.
97?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically right after high school, really.
That's right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was like a child university student. It was the Doogie Howser of theater.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's perfect.
But thanks for that. As I throw my hair back.
Yeah. I'm just trying to feed into the narcissism.
Yeah.
Now, in your writing, you've actually transitioned even beyond script writing into a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the book itself, although is kind of humorous in title, does have some serious undertones to it. Due to the experience that you had with cancer, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So this is actually my second book.
Okay.
But my first book was a comedic how-to on how to write a murder mystery.
Okay.
So this one is a memoir, and how it came to be was in 2008, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was single at the time. And so a lot of my acting and creative friends said, oh, Allie, this is going to make a really great play one day. And, from your experience, because I always turn I'm always turning lemons into lemonade all the time. So I said, you know what, I cannot wait the 2 to 7 years. I cannot wait that to get over this, and to write this great play. So what I actually did was, because I was single, and I also didn't want to wait 2 to 7 years, because that was the treatment process I was given. I did not want to wait 2 to 7 years to find a man. So, because right before I was diagnosed, I was like, okay, now's my time. My career's in check. Everything's going great. My business is going great. I thought, now it's time to meet a man. And then I was like, yeah, the doctor's like, you got breast cancer. I was like, shit, no. So I thought, actually, this is a great opportunity because I have breast cancer and I wanted to meet a solid, successful man. So what better place than a hospital? I'm going to meet a doctor. So then, and plus I'd be going to second base with like every guy I met. So this was awesome. So what I had done was before the book, what I had done was, and in 2008, YouTube isn't what it was like today. So what I had done was I made sort of a video diary, more of a mini documentary series. And I basically brought my video camera. And back then, people didn't video from phones. Like, I had an actual video camera. And I videotaped my surgeries, all my doctor's appointments, hitting on the garbage man, like everything. And I called it the Chem-Ho. And I had 13 episodes, and I had put them up on YouTube. And I was doing it for me, just as a way to occupy my time going through it.
Right.
Instead of spending all my time in the toilet. And I didn't realize the impact it was going to have. I heard from people all over the world, because what was happening was I had not only patients, but I also had supporters that were going online, like Googling in what does chemo look like, or how do I support my friend, and my videos were coming up. So my videos were actually being shown, they were shown at like a conference in Thailand, in Australia. I became this sort of like cancer celebrity. It was insane. I ended up being in a documentary film narrated by Kim Cattrall that ended up winning the best documentary at the Canadian Screen Awards, all because I had a lump. It was insane. And then once the treatment was over, I let the videos go on for another year, and then I thought, you know what? I don't want to be known as the cancer girl anymore. So I actually took the videos down. But what I didn't realize was number one, I was helping people. And number two, once you take something off YouTube, it's gone forever. Because at the time, it was 30,000 videos were being uploaded to YouTube a day. So they don't keep them in their vault. And then the motherboard went on my computer, so I had lost the videos forever, which really sucked because I was actually getting paid because I had so many hits that I was getting paid.
Right.
Yeah, because they were advertising because I had such a niche, right? Because it was comedy and cancer and breast cancer, which is unfortunate, but it's a huge product. You know, you slap a pink ribbon on it and all of a sudden you're making millions. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But then what I thought was, well, I'll turn it into a book. So the Chem-Ho is that story, but in book format.
Okay.
But I actually tell the stories of not just of that time in my life, but of who I am and how I came to be and how I was able to turn tragedy into comedy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Which, being a comedic writer, I'm sure you're pretty good at that. So.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the book itself is pretty vulgar, but it's honest, and that's who I am. So I'm not gonna run away from who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and since we've got the book here, we'll just quickly, please do bring it up, show it to people.
The Chem-Ho, don't I look good?
And where can they find this book?
So if you live in Canada, it's available at various bookstores. In Calgary, you can get it at various Chapters, and then Edmonton, so mainly Chapters Indigo. In Manitoba, you can get it at McNally Robinson, and then online you can find it anywhere. It's available online in over 33,000 different booksellers. So Barnes and Noble, Chapters Online, Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, so it's got quite the reach, really.
Yeah, it's got quite the reach. So if you just Google the Chem-Ho, you'll be able to find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Joyology.
Okay.
It's gone through its rough patches to get to where it's at.
Yes, it has. But turning lemons into lemonade, it was the best thing to ever happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So let's start off because you wrote it and you were trying to fund it through Tell a Story Hive.
Yeah.
And it just didn't really work out on there.
I mean, the reason why it was the best thing to ever happen was, try to make a long story short, is that I actually did get the funding, but I made the stupid mistake of putting someone else in charge of the money, and that person decided to do something else with the money. And so because I didn't sign the dotted line, I essentially had no rights. So I had all of these actors and crew and people that really wanted to do the project. And so I said, screw it, I'll just do it myself. And of course I called you, and then you referred, an editor and some camera people, and it's just all who you know, right? Through the grapevine, you just get to know people, and if you're a good person and you're kind, people will want to work with you. And I think we really became a family, and it was like a super fun shoot. So it was the best thing to ever happen, because instead of filming a pilot episode, we actually filmed an entire first season. Right. with basically half the funding and 5 more episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But at this time, you don't foresee season 2 moving on, and that's partially due to the fact that you do have to fund it out of your own pocket. Yeah. And you can only do that for so long.
You can only do that for so long. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that fund season 2 of Joyology, because I am scheduled to be in the second season.
Yeah.
Please Send her a line.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about the business side. Out of Our Heads Productions, right?
Yeah. So I'm in my 21st year of business. Again, I look so young. Yeah, and I am now all across Canada. So I have troops in Victoria, all the way to Montreal. And I do sort of the main thing I do is anything game orientated. So my favorite thing to do is I do game shows. And right now I'm working on a really, really big event that I'm super excited about. It's a sort of a mixture between a murder locked room, like an escape room, but they have offices across the States and Canada. So we're doing it simultaneously in 4 different places in one night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like the biggest event that I've ever done. It's super challenging, but I love it. So I have to actually come up with the characters, write the script, and then come up with the actual puzzles to get them out of the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're actually out of time. So I'd like to thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks so much, Gary.
And good luck with the book.
Thanks.
Chem-Ho. Check it out.
Yeah.
Pretty much available everywhere.
There might be some topless pictures in there.
Oh. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.